with you. The voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's a beat for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are. For your boy. For your boy. Hustle for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your, lift it up.
I came here tonight to settle the scores. Females or women and girls. Not tramps and hoes for all you brothers that be stunting on them weak ass rhymes. It's payback time. That's some old Mia X. Good morning, good morning. That's throwback 504 New Orleans Mia X. You had to be there. It was a time. It was round. It was saying twerk, baby, twerk, baby, twerk, twerk, twerk. And it was having, they were over-sexualizing women. Mia X came back with a banger. So what up, get up, boot up, come on, what up, get up, boot up, come on, what up, get up. Yeah, it was a time in New Orleans. You had to be there. Good morning, everybody. It's an early Joce. I had to do an early Joce. It was either early Joce or no Joce at all because I gotta go and be in a meeting, girl, all day. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. You know what I mean? We're not going to go with that. Let's start with this part. We ain't no Africans. I got to get right to it, y'all. Replay gang, I'm sorry, y'all. I normally go live an hour later. But I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to go early. It was either early or not at all. Okay? Yes, happy Thursday, Real China Doll. Happy Thursday, OCO to my family. That's all my indigenous acorn. OCO acorn, OCO to my Niji, to my Injuns, here they come. Anybody, shout out the Rumble Squad that was on last night. We got off a little late. Shout out to the Rumble Squad. We got off a little late. Rumble Squad, we was lit last night. If you wasn't on Rumble, you got to get around there. I'm telling you, this how it went. So we were discussing Dennis Edwards and the Temptations. And I had stopped because I looked at Dennis and I said he definitely acorn, definitely Negro. And I said if you don't like to use the N-word and you want to refer to each other, you can use the word Injun, I-N-J-U-N. That is another reference to each other. Remember, this is back before the G used the j sound. It was just the J's. You feel me? So Injun, here they come. Y'all, if y'all need another word, y'all can use engine. So good morning to all my engines. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I might need to use that more than I need to use. Well, no, I'm gonna still stick to the N-word because I like it. I was raised off it. My mama use it. My grandma use it. All my family use it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the N-word too. But you know what I mean? Yeah. So what's up, Acorn family? Surrounding Acorn, all our first cousins down in South America, the Caribbeans, and distant cousins all the way distant though, real distant, but still distant cousins down there in Africa. And then furthermore, who else I want to shout out? I don't know about the Black Europeans. What's the lady name who be on here? I'm still working on y'all. I'm still working on the Black Europeans, but you know, we'll get around to it. But if you're in here and you're on here and you're a Black Euro, welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. Okay. Now we got to get right to it. We ain't no Africans. I don't know if you've been told, but I'm gonna tell you today. We got a birthday. Oh, Roxanne Mapache. Happy birthday, fat. Today, the big 32. That's a big one, too. We got to celebrate the birthday real quick. You guys, do me a favor. Drop the cakes, the hearts, and all of that, whatever in the chat so we can celebrate a birthday in the house. Let's get this birthday going, Fefe.
Happy birthday. Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Roxanne. Happy birthday. I hope you have many more, as many as you want. Happy birthday, Roxanne, and everybody out there with a birthday. We still in Gemini season, girl. Happy birthday, Roxanne. Happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your day. Oh, love you more, boo. Love you. Now, we got to get into this content, y'all, because I only got an hour for y'all. Look, hey, we ain't no African. I don't know if nobody ever told you, Injuns. We ain't no African. I hope y'all know that. Yeah, at this point, we got to start screaming and stuff from the mountaintops. And you know, somebody asked me yesterday, is there something wrong with being an African? Yes, if it's not true. Absolutely, it's something wrong with being something you're not. And it's also something wrong with somebody lying to you and telling you you're something you're not. 23andMe, African ancestry, all them folk. You're damn right. You're damn right. It's your birthday too, Sheila. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Sheila. Happy birthday. Everybody in the chat who got a birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Listen, y'all, you got to know this part. See, when y'all start, first of all, shout out to everybody who be coming back telling me they started their genealogy. If anybody is unfamiliar with a genealogy, it's basically a genealogy is a family tree. And you can trace your genealogy back to the 1600s. You know what I'm saying? I think the earliest I've seen somebody or heard about somebody is maybe the 1600s. I'm not saying you can't go back further than that, because you can, obviously. But it's just like, you know, it's such fulfillment. It's such fulfillment when you really understand who you are. That 23andMe, them DNA tests don't tell you nothing but leave you more confused because it puts you in 15 different locations. Okay? So, you know, at the end of the day, and it ain't just no acorn, it's everybody. All of my first cousins down in the Caribbean and all of my indigenous first cousins in South America. We ain't no Africans. Now, some of us are. Some of us could say, oh, my grandfather is from Ghana. Some of us could say, oh, my great-grandfather is Nigerian. Yeah, you might be African. But the indigenous aboriginal people of this landmass and the Caribbeans and South America, we ain't no African. Y'all hit the like button. It's only 83 likes and 149 people in here. Y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Cabarro said, yes, I get a high from discovering my family's genealogy. I do too. I do too. I never got so much fulfillment out of any type of history, especially knowing my own. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Daisha said, yes, it feels good to know where you're from. I'm teaching my kids about our family now. That's what's up. That's what's up. I be talking to my daughter. She be acting like she don't want to hear, but I still be talking. I still be talking. You feel me? Y'all, I want to share this first clip with y'all because, like I said, I don't have a lot of time because, like I said, I got to go to a meeting. Girl, them people really played in my face today. Or whatever the case may be. Let's start off with this lady who went down to Ghana. I've been seeing this circulate on social media or whatever the case, and I had to cut this video in half in order to play it on here. But this lady was talking about her going back to Ghana. Remember, this ain't the first time they had the Back to Africa movement. They're trying to get you to abandon your land and go to another foreign landmass, which is Africa. And basically that way they'll steal your stuff. And you think they discombobulated by telling you was coming from Africa. You think they confused you when they told you came from Africa. Watch how confused your behind be when you get up there and you in another foreign land. But let's get into it. I want to share this clip with y'all piece by piece. I had to cut it up, so forgive me if I miss a piece. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about the fact that we get abused over here too. The thing about Ghana is stop crying victim. Stop crying victim, because y'all cheat us out of a lot of stuff. Y'all invited us to come home, which by the thousands we did. We came running to Ghana. People sold their homes, moved out of their apartments, sold everything. Some people packed up containers and moved over here just to get over here and realize this is not our home. Y'all call us foreigners. Ghanaians call us that. We didn't make that word up. We didn't start calling ourselves that. We don't know that that's what y'all call the white people and the Chinese because we're not around them. But we know that that's what y'all call us. I ain't never heard the word before, Tabby, till I came to Ghana. Okay. Y'all invite us home. Let's talk about what y'all do to us. Starting from the fucking before we get to the airport, we got to have a visa that we pay for to even enter our home. We pay all this money for passports and visas to get here. We get to the airport, and as soon as you see a fucking blue passport, everybody's coming for us. Can you give me something small at the COVID place? You get to immigration. Can you give me something small? You get to baggage. Can you give me something small? A person grabbed a damn cart and put my bag on it and got mad because I gave him $5 because I only had hundreds, because you come over here with hundreds to get the best, cash in rate. How about he looked at that and said, I don't want that. I said, what you mean you don't want it? I said, I want to know, what did you expect me to give you? He said $10. I said, so you want me to give you over 100 CDs for picking up a bag, putting it in a cart? He don't know this is like my 5th time coming through the airport. I have never seen nowhere in any country or state where people have openly, it says $60 for foreigners, $30 for locals, okay? You go to Cocoon Park, and I don't remember the price. Let's say $200 for foreigners, because that's what y'all call us, $40 for locals. You go to the castle, it's $60 for foreigners, $10 for locals. Yeah, I ain't never seen that nowhere. I ain't never went nowhere in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada where it said you pay, if you a local, if you're from here, you pay $3 for a Coca-Cola, but if you're a foreigner, you pay $8 for a Coca-Cola. I ain't never seen that nowhere except Ghana. Nobody in the airport has ever asked me for no money for nothing. I have only seen that in Ghana. Now, let's talk about the fact that y'all welcomed us home and how this process looks to me. It's $60 for foreigners, $30 for locals, okay? You go to Cocoon Park, and I don't remember the price. Let's say $200 for foreigners, because that's what y'all call us, $40 for locals. You go to the castle, it's $60 for foreigners, $10 for locals. Yeah, I ain't never seen that nowhere. I ain't never went nowhere in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada where it said you pay, if you a local, if you're from here, you pay $3 for a Coca-Cola, but if you're a foreigner, you pay $8 for a Coca-Cola. I ain't never seen that nowhere except Ghana. Nobody in the airport has ever asked.
I'm gonna play the second piece, but hey, look, how many times I tell y'all, everybody's in on the joke except us. They know who you are. You don't know who you are. That lady said they call her a foreigner along with the clear people and the Asians. Hey, that part went over a lot of people's head. Listen to what she said. She said she didn't know that they called her a foreigner, right? She said because she never been around them people, but they call her a foreigner just like the clears and the Asians, right? Then she turns up. So wait, before we move on. So that goes to show you they know who you are. You don't know who you are. See, you let 23andMe and African ancestry tell us or tell you that you come from Ghana or from Nigeria. They lying to you. So now I guess don't believe your grandmother and don't believe the people of the land. Go up to a Nigerian and ask not a young one though, because they Americanized. Go up to an older Nigerian and ask an older Nigerian if they believe that you're 70% Nigerian. I'm telling you, everybody is in on the joke except you. I need y'all to wake up. I need y'all to understand what's going on. Then they charge you more than they charge the locals. She said $60 for something for her as a foreigner, and then she turns around and says $10 for the locals because they're scheming. Stay scheming. Them people making money off you. They need your dollars to come and build up their economy. Once you build up their economy, they will then abandon and abort mission. Nope, I'm sorry, my bad. They will kick you up out of there. You got to know that part. They don't love you. They don't care about you. You let the Prince of Pan-African and that bull and all these other Pan-African fools and in the school systems and all these clear people and all these DNA tests tell you that you are African. And then when you get over that, look at what they do. Look at what they do. Again, this ain't the first Back to Africa movement. This ain't the second or the third. I want to say what, the fourth? Marcus Garvey came down here with that duck ass girl. Look, they call you a foreigner, so run over there if you want. Carry your ass around there if you want. They call you a foreigner. Now let's get into some other details this lady had to say about this doggone foreign place they call the motherland. Girl, please.
Has ever asked me for no money for nothing. I have only seen that in Ghana. Now let's talk about the fact that y'all welcomed us home and how this process looks to me. According to y'all, the ones of us that were stolen, so let's talk about the process of coming home. We got stolen from our mother, our birth mother and father. 20 years later, we're probably 26 years old now. Our mother finds us and she said, baby, y'all come home. I miss you. Come back home. Get out them streets where they don't love you at and come home. So we drive, take a taxi, however we get to our mother's address, we get there. But before she let us come to the door, she says, oh, welcome home. But before you come in, can you pay me $300 to enter the door? That's the visa to come home. So, okay, we happy to be home. So we paid $300 to our mother to step foot in her house because we're excited to be home to the motherland, okay? We get in there and now it's dinner time. And she has plates on the table for the kids that grew up in the house. And she has a plate on the table for me and my sister who was stolen years ago. And she says, oh, my daughters, because you didn't grow up here, my children get to eat free that grew up here. But because you were stolen and you're just coming back, I have to charge you $20 for a plate. So me and my sister, we're so happy to be home. We're confused. We pay her $20 for a plate. Okay. That's the cocoon shit. That's y'all giving us different prices for shit. Okay. Now we're at our mother's house and we're enjoying being there. We see something's a little weird, but we enjoy being back home with our mother. We decide we want to stay. And she goes, oh, you want to stay a little longer? You're going to have to pay me $1,000 every year to stay here. That's the residency. Now we're paying her for residency, even though she invited us home after we were stolen from her. Okay. Now we pay the residency and then we decide, you know what? We want to get on the birth certificate. We kind of like it here. It's a little weird, but we comfortable enough to stay here. And she tells us, oh, in order for you to stay here, I have to put my name on your birth certificate. That's going to be $3,000 each, please. And then I will put your name on the birth certificate and you will become a family member. That's the citizenship. That's the citizenship. So how are we home if we got to pay y'all? Why aren't the visas free? If this is home, why don't you make this visa free for us? If this is home, why do we have to pay to be a resident? If this is home, why isn't our citizenship automatically given to us?
Okay, y'all heard.
All right. First of all, when she's talking about the mother reference, she's not talking about her actual mother. What she's referencing is the motherland and the fees that it costs you to stay at the motherland. Remember, the African got up there and said, come home to Africa, come home to Africa. Negroes packed, like she said, left their houses, their apartments, sold their homes, and left and went up to Africa. But they don't tell you that you're going to pay every single day you are there. So when she said your mother, if you want to get on a birth certificate, that's your citizenship. $3,000. And it ain't a one-time fee. Listen. You got to be a new age fool. Do you hear me? You got to be a new age fool to go to the so-called motherland, right? And be treated the way that they treating them people. Not only that, spend all this money just to say you are part. Like, even if you were in, see, this is a problem with indoctrination. People aren't just indoctrinated with school. People aren't just indoctrinated with religion. A lot of people are indoctrinated with false history. This is the problem with indoctrination. You cannot escape it. You go to, listen, even if I thought, okay, I'm African, the moment I got that, and them people would have started calling me foreigners, oh, hell no, I got to get up out of here. I got a foreigner. I thought y'all said the museum is where my ancestors come up out of here. What you mean, foreigner? Didn't we go to the museum and see the chains? Then don't I ain't never been there, but I heard they said they got blood and all that on the floor. What you mean, a foreigner? Mind you, they don't even tell you what part of Africa, what tribe were your people, because they just say a whole continent. They just use a whole continent. That ain't no goddamn motherland. It's just like you getting food. You got, like I said, you got to be a new age fool to sell your home or break your lease in your apartment because you done watched Wakanda Forever, or you done watched Roots or something like that, and it compelled you to carry your black ass all the way over to a foreign country where they call you a foreigner. If you don't see the play, you deserve to get played, duck, duck, goose. Them people ain't just, I don't get it. I don't get it. And you know what's worse? People are going to still go over in droves. They're still going to go over in droves. And it's sick. It's sad. It's sick and it's sad. But ultimately, I want to show y'all that because y'all have to understand. Listen, we ain't no Africans. Everybody knows this except you. This is why genealogy is important. I get it. We still got a bunch of our sisters and brothers running around here hollering at Africa stuff because they done spit in the tube and gave these people their DNA. And who knows what they really doing with it. But let's go with it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no African. Let me say that again for the people in the bike. You ain't no African. I don't understand what is it going to take for y'all to wake up.
Wake up!
Please, wake up.
Wake y'all asses up, man. Like the video too. Author Empress says, who believes Africa should pay reparations like we are asking the USA to do? It's just a question. Don't kill me. I'm trying to see something. Well, first of all, you would have to believe that you came from Africa to talk about reparations from Africa. And I don't believe that. So I feel like they don't owe me nothing. Because I don't believe my ancestors came from Africa. My genealogy says otherwise. And in the history, in the research I'm doing says otherwise. So if some believe that they got sold from Africa, then of course. But apparently, when you go over there, them people don't feel like they owe you nothing. They call you foreigners. They call you a foreigner over there. LaDonna said, I'm glad I clicked on this content, Voodoo. I was thinking about selling my home and building one over there. Thanks. Girl, LaDonna, you should go back and look at one of my other lives. They had this man that he was Ghana. He was from Ghana, but he was raised in America. He built homes, and baby, them people came in there and ran and took a bulldozer and bulldozed all his homes down. Just because they said they lied to the police and said that he owed a contractor money or something like that, and the police and everybody had, girl, don't you go do it. Hey, I ain't gonna say don't build. Don't sell your home here. Keep your home here. If you want to go over to Africa and build you something, that's fine. Do not sell your stuff here. Keep your roots here. Because listen, you'll always have a visa, right? You'll always have a visa. Yup, took your stuff and everything. Listen, do not, if you want to go to Africa, that's fine. Do not sell your home or whatever you have here. Keep that. That is the whole, that's the move. That's what they want you to do. Sell your possessions, sell your home, and pick up and leave. Because guess what? Once you do that, when you come back, it's gone. It's gone. Once you go around there and get them people visas and all of that, you're done. Please, if y'all planning to go to Africa, I ain't encouraging. No, is that a word? Disencouraging? I'm not discouraging. I'm sorry. Nobody not to go to Africa. My only ask is that you do not sell your stuff here. Keep your homes. Airbnb it out, rent it out, let a family member stay in it. Do not sell, because that's the move. That's the trick right there, to get you to leave all your possessions here, leave all your land here, leave all your lineage here, leave all your history here, and go start over in a new place. Please, I'm begging y'all, don't do it. Please, I'm begging y'all, do not do it. So Tim Clark says, I thought in other countries the government owns the land. Probably do. Probably do. I never looked into it, Tim. It wouldn't make no, it makes more sense than not. It makes more sense than not. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all see that goddamn Wakanda Forever? See that stuff they put in the movies? That shit is fake. It doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not real. Roots is not real. We've already debunked it from Alex Haley's own words. 23andMe, African ancestry, is not real. We've already debunked it coming from actual scientists and the African ancestry Negro, his own words. It's not real. They playing in your face. They playing with y'all. Don't let them do y'all that, please. I'm begging my people, please, all my cousins from Acorn, all my brothers and sisters from Acorn, all my cousins from South America and the Caribbeans, do not let, well, some of y'all from the Caribbeans got African in y'all for real, because some of them go over there, but y'all know the ones I'm talking about, the indigenous ones. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them trick you. Happy birthday, Sarah. Happy birthday. Adults are just like children, making fantasy fiction movies into their reality, like my 5-year-old son turning into Sonic the Hedgehog after watching the Sonic movie. Yes, it's exactly what's going on, Shaquana, because listen, you got to understand the trick. The trick is they teach it to you at the schoolhouse, and then they put the icing on. That's the cake they bake. The icing on the cake is through entertainment, music, movies, books. I'm telling you, don't let them. That's how they get you. They teach it to you. Listen, this is literally what they did in the 60s when they introduced this Africa bullshit and they introduced the slave narrative. I'm gonna show you how they did it. They put it in the system with the school churn in the 60s, right? So these children in the 60s, elementary school, middle school, probably, these babies in the 60s learned that they were slaves from Africa. Round about the late 70s, early 90s, these children are now adults. And then what did they do? Drop roots off in their backyard. Made it the biggest thing for Negroes to go do, to go see. Now, the seed that was planted in elementary school for these children have now been solidified in the movie in the 70s. Are we tracking? So now that's our mothers who really thought Roots was real and was naming our children, naming their children Kissy. They was wearing the kente cloth. They was then you got Stokely Carmichael, who had come in the 60s with co-opting Mike Martin Luther King's whole gig, and he come in talking about Black Power. That was the cake, and then the icing on that cake was James Brown. Say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. Do you see what they do? Fast forward. Our generation. I'm talking about 30s and 40s, maybe 50. We get taught the slave narrative just like our parents did, right? We get taught we come from Africa, just like our parents did, right? They the first generation of people to hear that bullshit about Africa and slavery. What did they drop in our lap? Wakanda forever. Didn't they drop that through? Wasn't we down at the movie theaters in all our kente cloth? Wasn't we down at the movie theaters with our head wrap and our so-called African garb? You see the cake they baked was in school for us, and the icing on that cake was the movie. They do it all the time. It's called programming. Social engineering is what it's calling. And what is called, I'm sorry. You have to know this. You ain't no African. If you want to go to Africa, fine, have at it, fat, but do not leave your motherland, which is here. How do we find out if who we really are, if ancestry is tests are fake? Genealogy. Genealogy. Family trees. It's called genealogy. Go look up who your ancestors were. And if you are indigenous, Aboriginal American, I promise you're going to run across an Indian tribe when you do that. Speaking of Indian tribes, let me show y'all something. See, I'm not teaching y'all about no Africa, nothing. Let me show y'all some stuff that popped off down here in America. Peep this.
Listen to understand to understand and do not to respond. I've received a lot of emails from, our African American brothers and sisters. Some saying, they're staying. They're not going anywhere. That is their land. And I think it's very important for us to open up the discussion that, not all African Americans came from Africa. That is one of the greatest fallacies that has happened. We were a global melanated planet, which means we were absolutely everywhere, on every land, in every country, in every continent, the countries they created. And, there's been so much that's been done because it's a mental reality, it's a mental world. There's so much that's been done to corrupt and rewrite the story, especially when you see the pictures of who they say the native Indians were. But, the Americas were actually African. It was like Africa. It was a melanated.
You guys like the video? Please like the video. Please like the video. The lady just said it. The whole world was melanated. Again, if you want to believe you came from a monkey named Lucy, or if you want to believe in the Bible that two people populated the entire earth, even though the Bible says there were other people there when he created Adam and Eve, but we're not going to get into it. If you want to believe that, fine. But ultimately, everybody knows who you are except you. The entire world was melanated, not just Africa. Not just Africa. The Caribbeans were melanated. North America and South America were melanated. Asia was melanated. Let me do you one better. Antarctica, listen to me and listen to me good, was melanated. The lady just told you, fact. See, again, they don't push that in the algorithm. They push the other stuff in the algorithm to make you think you African. And they got a lot of our people that's just so stubborn, you can't tell them nothing. Them people say they African, fine, girl, let them be African. Figure out who you are. Because you ain't no African. I'ma say you ain't no African throughout this whole video. You ain't no African. I ain't no African. We ain't no African. We are indigenous, aboriginal acorn. That's who we are. We are indigenous to whatever land you standing on. This is for everybody in North America, South, melanated indigenous. Everybody in North America, South America, the Caribbeans, and again, if you can point to an African or Africans in your family, this ain't for you, fat. I'm talking about the ones who got this generation, the mama before you, the grandma before you, the grandma before you. If you get 4 generations back and you don't see no African, you have a high probability you ain't no African. You ain't no Africans. The lady just told you. I don't know what else to tell you. I want to show y'all something else. That was the wrong video anyway. I see something happening here in America. Did I download this video? I hope so. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I don't know if I downloaded. Let me see if this is.
Discovering Black America From the Age of Exploration to the 21st Century by Linda Reed. It says the earliest blacks to arrive in North America were not shackled Africans who were forced to migrate from Africa to the New World during the journey called the Middle Passage in the 17th and 18th centuries. Some of the first Africans or people of African descent to step foot on the American continent were navigators, translators, and other seamen who worked aboard European ships during the Age of Exploration in the 15th century. You already know just because these people are dark-skinned are already going to attribute these people to Africa. Even if they wasn't African, they still had that title put up on them. It says some who sailed were free while others were enslaved. Historians have documented that on Christopher Columbus's first voyage to the New World in 1492, Pedro Alonso Nino, a black man of Spanish descent, was the pilot or the navigator of the Nina, one of the 3 ships Columbus outfitted for his voyage to the New World. You see that? They said Pedro Alonso Nino was a black man of Spanish descent, so he was from Spain, a black European. It says Juan Garrido, a free black explorer, was a member of Ponce de Leon's expeditions to Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. Garrido also joined Hernan Cortez in the fight to conquer Mexico, and in the 16th century engraving, Garrido, far left, and Cortez meet with Mexican officials. You see that? So these black Europeans again are conquering the Americas. It says
You hear that? Y'all remember I told y'all about them black Europeans, them conquistadors? Remember, them clears ain't know how to navigate nothing. The first Africans to actually step foot, and they really weren't African, they were indigenous to Europe, were the black people that came off the boat with Christopher Columbus crazy ass. And allegedly, he was a Negro. See, that complicates it, but you got to know this part. All them people in the history they told you were white were really black. Them black Europeans. I'm telling you, them people came here fucking with us. Them people came here messing with us. You know what I mean? These were already explorers that were sailing through the seas. They come here from Spain. Black people, indigenous, and I'm using the term black loosely, but so-called black people indigenous to Spain. You have to know this. These are things you have to know. They didn't teach you this in school. I know it because I went to school. They ain't teach it to me. They had black people all over this. The African told you, melanated people cover the entire earth. They have mixed a lot of these people in today in our society, and a lot of our children don't even realize it. That's why everybody using the N-word. If you go back to the 16th century, when them Negroes, he said some of them was enslaved, and you got to know this part. A lot of them slaves, that was popping in Europe and all of those places. But let me ask y'all a question. This is gonna kill the melanated, anybody can use the N-word theory. Them black conquistadors and them black people that got off them ships and came in and colonized y'all, would y'all allow them to use the N-word in actual and just random conversation? Wouldn't they be the enemy? Wouldn't they to me, y'all, it's spewing off of their lips would be just as venomous if it spewed off a clear person's lips. You are one of them. You're not one of us. There's no way I would be comfortable with them black people getting off them ships, knowing what we know today. There's no way I would be comfortable allowing them people to use the N-word or even dictate how it's used. How dare you? You no different from a colonizer than them clear folks over here. When Kendrick made the song "They Not Like Us," it went over 95% of our heads. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care about the clear people. They gonna colonize. That's what they do. I'm talking about the Negroes, the indigenous Negroes. It went over 95% our head. He was trying to tell you, especially when he broke down the part about the history of Atlanta and how basically the colonizers used to come over here and use the history and use the people for their talent, use the people for whatever, and take that and then go capitalize off of it. That's literally what Drake does. He was just on the track sound in Jamaican the other day, even though we know his pa is from Memphis and his ma is a Juice. Thank you, Author Empress, for the super chat. Good morning, Dollhouse. Hit the like button. You guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you, Author Empress. Wale, we don't use the ER in the chat, fat. I'm going to go ahead on and delete this for you. But we don't use the ER in this chat. And in the ER that you using, it make me feel like you ain't even a Negro. We don't use that in this chat. And if you a foreigner, I'll ban you up out of here. Because again, colonizers colonize. You know how, you see what I'm saying? That's what they do. We can't have nothing. But gone are the days. Gone are the days. Like I said, we are indigenous to this land. We are indigenous to this land. We are aboriginal to this land. Thank you, the real China doll, for the cash app. Thank you, my love. He been trolling. Peace and blessings, Elder. Peace and blessings, Elder Baba Rashad. Peace and blessings, Elder. Peace and blessings. Y'all go follow the Elder Baba Rashad over on YouTube. He be over there spitting some hot fire. Peace and blessings, Elder. Peace and blessings. Since the beginning of the live, let me go find him and get him up out of here. Wale. The fuck? Let me go find him. I don't see no other comments. I'm scrolling. Hold on. Moderators, if y'all see Wale on here, get him up out of here indefinitely. Get him up out of here indefinitely if y'all see Wale again. He might be an African. Who knows? All right, I want to show y'all something else. Cause like I said, I can't be too long with it today because I got a meeting to go to at 9:30, which I will be late for on purpose. On purpose. Let's get into this real quick.
It's comments like this that have me convinced y'all done lost y'all African mind. Y'all done lost y'all damn African mind. You mean to tell me we're not African, we are native black Americans, like we organically sprung up in North America and we don't have any connection with Africa? You done lost your damn African mind. Believe in that. Now, I made several posts about this, but I'm going to say it again. African Americans living in America possess at least 73% of Niger Cotophonia DNA, meaning that we come from the continent of Africa, not no damn North America. But I know majority of you guys don't like taking DNA tests because y'all think it's the white man's science, or y'all don't believe in it or something like that. But let one of your cousins get locked up, and the only thing that can get his ass out is a DNA test. Y'all believe in it then. Let one of your cousins get a call from a girl and say, yo, it's your baby. I bet y'all be taking a DNA test then to determine that he's not the father. It works when it works for you, right? But y'all don't believe in science. Y'all rather go around on TikTok and listen to these fake ass screenshot, copy and paste historians who don't give you guys enough information on the subject matter. And y'all are eating it up like sheep. It is clearly dangerous for the community because y'all done lost your African minds and you're quickly losing your African integrity. Another thing, if y'all hate people lying all in the videos talking about you ain't Africa, come to death row. If y'all tired of people screenshotting, copy and pasting history and not giving y'all no book reference, come to death row. Because it's Team Africa all day, every day. Shout out to the Zulus, shout out to the Igbos, shout out to the Hausa tribe, shout out to the Fulanis. Never family turn your back on your ancestral homeland.
You know, I mentioned this before. We're going to get a lot of, and I think he's Acorn, but he don't even know it. We're going to get a lot of people to distract us and get us out the way. And you know what was so funny about him saying what he said? He said that TikTok be copy and pasting information when he copy and pasted his whole response of, y'all believe in DNA to see who the father is, but y'all don't believe in science when it comes to find out who your ancestry is. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I hate how stupid we are, how dumb we've become. It is more accurate to test two living people. Listen to me and listen to me good. It is more accurate to test two living people, meaning if I wanted to find out if my child was mine and they took my DNA and took her DNA and put it under a microscope or whatever they do to find out what's going on and then tell me if we are related, versus taking my DNA and matching it up with what they said. It has not been proven. Matching it up with what they said is a location, not a person. They ain't digging nobody up. This is how they doing it. They're taking your DNA, matching it up with a so-called haplogroup or a location where they believe this group of people came from. That's what they doing. That's what they doing. Let me say that part again for the people in the bike. When they take your DNA and they put it under this microscope or whatever science they do, and they say, oh yeah, this haplogroup matches the haplogroup of the people of this area. They matching your shit to a fucking landmass. So when he sit up there and say, y'all trust DNA to see if your baby father is the father, but y'all don't trust DNA for science, you copy and pasting, duck goose. You the one copying. I've heard that so many times, it's unreal, and it blows me to smithereens when I hear it. You're the one copying and pasting, because if you understood exactly what they were doing with your DNA, you would know that those two things are not the same. This is why you can find a long lost cousin in Jamaica. This is why you can find a long lost cousin in wherever, because those are two living people. It's called a system. There's two living people that they can match your stuff up and say, oh yeah, that's your cousin. Oh yeah, that's your brother, because both of y'all are alive. That is not the same as them matching your DNA, using your DNA to match you to a location where they say a haplogroup comes from. It's all fake. It's all fake. I need y'all to wake up. Y'all ain't hearing me though. It's all fake. Don't let nobody tell you it's the same. It's all fake. Y'all got to wake up at this point. Y'all got to wake up at this point.
Please wake up.
No, they ain't testing no fossils or nothing. Nope. They're saying that there's a haplogroup. There's a group. In the DNA markings, there's a haplogroup that come from this portion of the land. That's what and they don't even have nothing to prove that. Even though, mind you, there are people on that land. There are people there. See, if it was real, they would take your DNA and test somebody in Nigeria or test somebody in Ghana and say, oh yeah, they do match up. But they don't do that. Y'all you know that, right? They could easily get the DNA from the people who occupy that land right now and match it up to see if you relate to them. But they're not going to do that because they know it's all cap. Are y'all tracking this? Y'all have to wake up. They got people there. If they wanted to really find out if you belong over there, if them your people, they could easily grab some of them people and test them and match your DNA up with them. They refuse to do so because they know the play. Everybody's in on it except you. Let me say that part again. Everybody's in on it except you. And with this fool, with his African beads on, Pan-African goofy, Pan-Goofy, he one of them doggone people that really gets in the way because people, we're divided right now. We got a lot of us that are waking up and understanding the play. But it's people like him that keep us confused. And the worst part is he probably really believes that. He probably really believes everything he's saying without even trying to do the research before he puff up his chest and speak so boldly. Because it don't look like he getting paid. So I don't think he an agent. His hair's uneven. His beard is out of whack. Let's get into some more ignorant shit. Here go a half and half from the UK, child. Y'all know these get on my nerves. Here you go.
Bro, I don't know if Americans are genuinely confused or they're just thick, because this blew my mind. And if you're not American, this will probably blow your mind too. So I'm from England, right? But most English people are usually white, just like Americans are usually white too, okay? Keep that in mind, this is very important. As you can see from looking at my skin, I am not just white, I have black in me, which means I come from African descent. To be more specific, Ghanaian descent. Keep this in mind. I was outside in America and I seen a fellow melanin brother. Now, when I'm looking at melanin people, I can usually tell what part of Africa you are from your features. And I saw this brother that I thought might have been Ghanaian too. Big up my Ghana brothers, by the way. But was I so wrong? So I proceeded to ask, yo bro, what part of Africa you from? He said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was like, oh word, but like, where are your parents from? Atlanta, Georgia. So what about your grandparent? Atlanta, Georgia. So my next question was, how are you black? There's a lot of black people in Atlanta, Georgia, son. So you're telling me that you're not from Africa, but your skin is saying otherwise. Yep, proud African American, straight out of Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. And before I could ask him any more questions, brother, I answered it for myself. These people genuinely think that African American is its own race. And this is actually deep, bro. These African Americans are children. Yes, you heard me right. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but there's no such thing as African Americans. Your ancestors were just taken from Africa to America, brainwashed, and completely forgot where they came from. And that's the truth. So maybe go look at your history before saying I'm African American.
Do you see the ignorance? Do you see the ignorance? The UK British, and he ain't even Negro. I was about to say the UK British Negroes, and he ain't even that. Child.
He ain't even from Acorn.
You can't make this up. He got his half and half creamer ass on here, and he lost me when he said, he said the Americans are usually white. That's the part that blew me. When he said typically the Africans are black and the Americans are white, you could tell he get his information from TV. Then he spent the block and said, I saw a black man with melanated skin, and as you can see, I'm half white and half Guyanan or whatever he said. And then I asked him where he from, and he goes, Atlanta, Georgia. These African Americans really think that they're their own race. Again, miseducation. And this the gay. They probably not teaching that food at them schools down there. He learning that shit on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. He up there talking about how we think we a real race. We think that we're not from Africa because we're not. We're not. And then furthermore, you ain't even Negro. So you can mind your business, creamer. Half and half creamer. You mind your business. This don't concern you. Go find the clear side of your family. How about that? Let's go see which one of your family were poor Slavic slaves or something like that. Yeah, we were descendants of slaves, and so was your clear ancestors too down there at the UK. Let's talk about it. Your parents probably come from probably a Slavic slave. Hence the word slave. Slavic. They was enslaving them like now they going west. And the whole ignorance of you have dark skin, so you have to be from Africa. Charles Darwin, you could kiss the blackest part of my ass. You got these people out here so confused and jacked up. You got these people so confused and jacked up. Charles Darwin got people thinking just because you got melanated skin, you got to be from Africa. I can't stand you, Charles Darwin. If I could go through one of these portals and go back to hands of times, I'd take a pair of leather gloves and slap your face and challenge you to a duel. You goddamn idiot. I want to show y'all one more thing. Thomas Jefferson, like I told y'all, a lot of the people, I don't know if I told y'all this, but a lot of the people that came over here, I told y'all a lot of Black Europeans came over here, and a lot of them infiltrated or integrated with us and live amongst us. A lot of us may have some Black European history in us. We don't know. Some of us, now I ain't gonna say a lot, some of us may, right? Because it wasn't that many. It was more the clears coming over here like goddamn savages off the boat. Even though they lied and told us we came off the boat, it was them who came from off the boat. But Thomas Jefferson had Negro descendants, and because of the depiction of him being a clear man, the clear people can't get over it. Watch this lady on Oprah who's a descendant of Thomas Jefferson.
Get passed down. For my family is the word oral history.
The same as their family.
That's true. I have always known it. Quickly to understand, my mother lived in a household of 3 generations. Her mother, her grandmother, and her great-grandmother visited her all the time. Her great-grandmother was the granddaughter of Thomas Jefferson. There was no question of who great-grandmother was.
Okay, tell me that again. I'm a little slow.
All right. My mother lived in a household with her mother and her grandmother.
Gotcha.
Her great-grandmother visited with them all through their years, so she knew Grandma Spears. Grandma Spears is the son of Madison Hemmings, who is the granddaughter of Thomas Jefferson. So no one questioned who Grandma Spears was. They knew her life. We did not need a book for that. She shared her life with her family.
So what happened?
This is the importance of oral history. I know today's society, they're teaching us not to ignore our oral history. They're teaching us that it's all cap, it's all fake. Just listen to the DNA test, girl. But listen, them people was actual descendants of Thomas Jefferson. Actual descendants. Remember, I told y'all, all of us were not slaves. All of our ancestors were not slaves. Some of us actually worked on plantations. We got paid. You feel me? Some of us were doing mason work. Some of us, we were doing a whole heap of things. I know they put it in the movie and they put it in the history books and told us every single one of us, our ancestors were slaves. See, this is another reason why the reparations thing ain't gonna go through, because the government knows, first of all y'all wasn't no slave. Just because you indigenous to the land, or you were here, or you were bought off the boat, if you believe that don't mean your ancestors were slave, number one. Number two, what they also know is it wasn't just Black people who were so-called slaves. They had Asians, they had clears, they had all type of people that were so-called slaves. So that whole foundational Black American, we coming to get our check reparation shit, Tariq Nasheed know that's some bullshit. He just leading the people astray. He knows it. He knows it. He's an agent. He knows it. He's an agent. When we get into the mounds, the Indian mounds, when we get into the pyramids, when we get into all of that stuff that was going on before these colonizers got their disease-filled asses off them goddamn schooners, y'all will be amazed at the type of civilization that we had before them people got here. And you'll then figure out why so many so-called fires just happen to happen, or so many so-called floods just happen to happen. They were destroying your history so that you be so far removed from it, you won't know which way to turn. The whole narrative of telling you that you were a slave this whole time is to keep you mentally enslaved. If you enslave the mind, you own the body. Let me say that part again. The whole purpose of them telling you every single one of us were slaves was to keep you mentally, internally, spiritually, emotionally enslaved. Once you take the mind, you own the body. You won't look for this type of information. You won't search to see who you are. You'll believe whatever it is they say because you are already a slave. The slave that you running around here getting reparations for is you. Let me say that part again. The slaves that you running around here trying to get reparations from is you, because you the actual slave. You ain't no African. We ain't no African. You ain't no African. We ain't no African. You didn't come here off no goddamn boat unless you can find ancestry. And the Africans that did come here, when they started coming, the early 1900s. Stop it. Even the black people that was on the boat with Christopher Columbus nasty ass, they weren't even Africans. They were indigenous Spaniards. Remember I asked y'all what happened to all of them damn indigenous Europeans, all them black Europeans? Remember I asked y'all that? Them people was indigenous to that land. Where they at? And how them clear people get over there? That's a story for another day. But even they weren't indigenous to Africa. I'm just telling y'all. Now I gotta go. Sorry we can't roll this out a little longer, but I gotta roll out. I gotta go to this meeting. I appreciate y'all for being here. If y'all don't take nothing from this live, take this and please do your genealogy. Start with your girl. If you could go back 3 generations, fine. Start your genealogy, but I promise you, once you get to about that 3rd, 4th, 5th, you're gonna find some indigenous American in here. You're gonna find that Indian in you. I promise you that. I promise you, once you get about the 4th generation, you're gonna find that indigenous blood in you. Also, what I was about to say, also, shit, I lost my thought. What I was about to say, you're gonna find that indigenous blood in you. Oh, yes, talk to the elders. Talk to the elders. And when you talk to the elders, don't lead them into what you want to know. Just ask them, hey, grandmother, you heard anything about your grandmother being a slave? And just let her talk. Let her talk. She gonna tell you everything she needs to know. Hey, Papa, you ever heard anything about your grandfather? Ask him about 2 generations back. Ask your grandmother or grandfather 2 generations back. You ever heard about your grandfather being a slave? And then and let him talk. And then also, this is how you do. You ever heard anything about your grandfather or somebody in your family being Indian? Let them talk. They're gonna tell you everything you need to know. Do not lead them into no, because see, psychologically, you don't know how the mind works. The mind works if you ask me a question by saying, hey, do you believe that leaves are green, even though you see them outside every day and they green? Of course, my brain is going to automatically be like, well, yeah, they green because I see them outside. Don't give them the answer you're looking for. Just ask them questions and let them talk. That's how this works. Talk to your elders, even if it ain't your grandmother. Talk to the oldest elder in your family. Talk to the oldest elder in your family. Get names. Write them down. That's going to help you look for them on the census records when you do your family tree, your genealogy. I don't care if they don't have a last name. Get the first name. But I'm pretty sure they'll have a last name. Get names, write them down, write down important details, start your family tree. Acorn, stand up. Caribbean, South Americans. Most South Americans know they genealogy. Most of them know they weren't indoctrinated like we was. But Caribbean, Acorn, everybody, y'all stand up. You ain't no goddamn African. I gotta get off of here. I love y'all to death. Oh no, I'm lying. I love y'all to life. Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry about that. I love y'all to life. And we're gonna get on here later on. I don't know if I'm gonna go live later on, or I'm gonna just do some pre-recorded content. I gotta get more pre-recorded content out here. I love y'all dearly, and I'll see y'all later. That's your homework. Genealogy. Bye.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, Blaze up.
It's a beat for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. For your boy. Hustle for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your, lift it up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.